Do you regret bottom surgery? If I'm being honest, hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Victoria Rose, and here on this channel, baby, we talk about all things transgender, from reaction videos to workbook videos to more personal question and answer videos like this. So if that sounds like fun to you, make sure you subscribe down below so you can join our family and never miss out on a new upload. Today, we are exploring all of your burning questions, whether it's advice, whether it's personal questions, trans-related questions, spicy related questions, all kinds of things I'm answering in this video. I got so many messages, I got so many DM requests, so many emails. Again, stop emailing me, please. All about transition or my personal life, and I can't get back to each and every one of you, but when I make a video like this, I get to respond to so many of you. So strap in, grab a snack. We are going to get ready together and answer all of these questions. If you would like to participate in our next Q&A, please make sure that you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. We have some very juicy questions, and before we dive into this video, we have a word from our wonderful sponsor over at Catch Beauty. Hey, I have something super exciting to share with you. As a transgender woman, I used to struggle with a lot of unwanted hair. I have spent so much time and money on painful and expensive procedures trying to get rid of all of my body hair, and I figured there must be a better way. That is when I discovered Catch Beauty. This right here has been a game changer for me. I actually can't believe the results that I've seen from this. I mean, look at the before and after pictures. Wow. The best part is I get to do it all from the comfort of my own home. No more awkward and expensive salon visits, no more painful treatments, just smooth skin on my terms. I just upgraded my IPL to the MX2 Pro, and this baby is strong. And guess what? Catch Beauty now has this fantastic hair removal cream and growth inhibitor spray. The cream is so gentle, leaving my skin soft and hair free. And the growth inhibitor spray, girl, obsessed. I've noticed a real difference in the amount of time it takes for my hair to grow back. I have never felt more confident or in control of my beauty routine. On top of just having fantastic products, Catch Beauty is a transgender dedicated brand, and that means so much to me as a transgender woman to see that representation out there. So if you're like me and you are tired of the endless cycle of hair removal, do yourself a favor and go to catchbeauty.com/discount/rose and use the code ROSE at checkout for money off your order. Thank you so much, Catch Beauty, for sponsoring this portion of today's video, and without further ado, let's dive into all of your questions. Welcome to the land of constant anxiety. Girl, I have been trying to film this for so long, but I've been putting it off. I don't know why. I've just been feeling so off today. But I'm here, I straightened my hair, I have the Bottega Veneta earrings, and I have my little caffeine drink, which is like the Walmart, basically it keeps me from spending money on Celsius, Bang, and Red Bull, but it's so good. It's like strawberry. My face is already primed. After I moisturized, I went in with the Bobbi Brown face base, and then after that sank in for so long, because girl, like I said, I took forever to film this. I applied 2 pumps of the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This is so good, and I do enough to really cover my whole face so it really sticks. It's funny I'm saying so it really sticks all day, and it's 2:38 p.m. and I'm not going anywhere later. I have so many questions, so I'm not going to go through and talk about every single item, but I will list it down below in the description, so if you want to know what an item is, go check it out down there. Okay, I have my mirror right in front of me, so if I'm looking off, that's why. But the first question is, before you were married, how was dating as a trans woman? Now, I have some good experiences and some bad experiences. I'm gonna go ahead and say mostly bad, but that's also because I was young and I hated myself, and I just kind of had some general young girl bad dating experiences. I would usually encounter 2 different types of men. Full disclosure, before I got married, I was pre-op, and then I had surgery. I met my husband a month or 2 after surgery, and I've been with him ever since, so I wasn't really dating post-op. The 2 types of guys that I would encounter pre-op were either guys that were really into you having what we call the candy, or the extra goods, or the extra little something, guys being really into that and that being sort of a driving factor of them being with you. Or we would find guys that really didn't like it at all and wanted you to hide it, and wanted, would get upset if they ever saw it, or if you talked about it, or they would get really uncomfortable. And honestly, I was mostly with those guys because I didn't like that I had what I had down there. So I didn't want my boyfriend or whatever to like it, because that's not me. I saw it as a completely different part of someone else almost. So why would I want him to like that, you know, especially considering that it's going to be gone one day at that time, you know. So, and of course, you know, we're no bi or pan erasure. Like, there are definitely people, and that's sort of the holy grail. There are people that are totally fine and like see you 100% as a woman, but also aren't like weirded out. So whatever. There was a whole lot of hiding who I was, and that's not ideal. That's also indicative of someone who's young and doesn't have a good sense of self. I was really dating mostly from like 17 to 20 or like 21. 17 to 21 is when I was really dating. I have had a lot of people ask me what it's like dating a woman as a trans woman pre-op or post-op or whatever, and I am bisexual. So I do have experiences, and I think that might be something to go into in a completely different video. But with girls, when you're dealing with a lesbian, a lot of the times they actually surprisingly, in my experience, tend to care more about what's in between your legs. Like, most lesbians that I got involved with had zero interest in what was between my legs, and I was fine with that because they were like, I hate dick, and I was like, I hate my dick too. That's kind of my experience. And most of them, I think, either there's, I'm sure, a lot of fluidity within the lesbian community, so I think maybe in some ways it might be easier, but in some ways it's like they don't want any part of that. I love that I immediately got foundation all over this. Awesome. And I also just finished doing a load of whites, so. What is your biggest advice for a baby doll? The best advice that I could give is to be patient. You're always gonna be a woman, honey. You're always gonna be a woman, and it's gonna take time, and rushing things is what gets girls in danger, what gets girls botched. It's what kills us sometimes. You know, I know from experience, I know quite a few girls that have rushed things, and maybe they went with a surgeon, or sometimes not a surgeon, that really messed them up. And it takes a lot of money and time to fix that. So take your time, be patient, understand that hormones are gonna take a while. Understand that, you know, it's just gonna take a while for your body to develop and for you to get, you know, the funds and the right doctor, and it's all gonna take time, and it will happen at the right time for you. Trust the process, be patient. Are you able to make a trans fashion guide? Absolutely. That's actually something that I'm working on. So if you haven't seen already, I'll link right up here and down below. I did make a whole workbook all about gender euphoria and how you can cultivate gender euphoria in your day-to-day life as a trans person, like sort of combating gender dysphoria. And I really loved making that workbook. So I'm excited to make a new one, and I'm gonna make it about fashion, whether it's this one or the next one or the one after that, whatever. I will be making one all about building a wardrobe. I'm really excited about that. I majored in fashion, textile marketing, and design in the College of Business in my university, so that's really a big passion of mine. So I'm really excited to really explore that. What was your first big moment of gender euphoria? For me, it was trying on a dress. That's so funny you say that, because for me, it was probably also that. I transitioned at 14, and my parents did not want me to wear a dress to school just yet because I lived in a pretty close-minded area, and they were concerned that me wearing a dress would put me in danger, like make me a target. But the thing is, I already was a target, so I was like, what is even the point? So on my 15th birthday, I convinced them to let me wear a dress, and it was this dress right here. It was from Hot Topic, and I remember just being so in love with the dress, and I loved it so much. I wore it until like the seams were coming off. I kind of wish I still had it, actually. It was really, really special to me, and that sort of unlocked a feeling. And I think the first time I really started feeling at home in my own body, like looking in the mirror and being like, that's a girl, is when I first got hair extensions. And I mean, now my hair is long and gorgeous and it's all my own hair, but I had some pretty short hair for, I mean, I was growing out for a long time, and I got hair extensions and I was that bitch. I had one bundle in, yeah, did not look incredible, but I had one thin little bundle in with the long hair. You couldn't tell me anything, bitch. Any advice for coming out as trans to my wife? I'm so scared and I know I'll be hurting her. That's very tough. If I were a cis woman and I married a man, first of all, I think your spouse typically knows you better than anyone. You know, they spend so much time with you, they live with you, they see you morning and night in your most vulnerable. It seems like, you know, maybe she might not know that you're trans, but she definitely knows something's up, you know? I mean, we're not stupid. I'm sure she knows something's going on. And to be honest, maybe she even thinks you might be gay, and that could be upsetting for her, thinking that, oh, he just doesn't like me. And really, it's just that you're a woman, but you truly love her, you know? So it's a toss-up, and it's gonna be tough no matter what. I would be hurt more as a wife if my partner hid from me their entire life a huge secret about who they are, and lived to eventually resent me, which is inevitable, all because they didn't come forward and tell me something. I would be so much more hurt by that. So I think that's something to keep in mind, and just know it's not gonna be easy. You're not hurting her, you know, you're not doing something malicious, you're not doing something to upset her. You're coming forward and being honest and true. Doesn't make it easy, you know, but you have to be true to you, and a true partner would want you to be true to yourself, whether she can continue to be a part of that or not. You know, you have to give her space to come around and learn about things and make her own decisions about how she feels about it. I would literally take the most extensive notes on your opinions and approach to aging. Well, thanks. As far as my approach to aging, I think the first thing, the most important thing, is to know that aging is a privilege. Not everyone is able to reach old age. And you know, I can't help but think about, I've lost a few friends along the way at young ages, and that was really hard for me and for their friends and community and everything. You know, not everybody gets to reach old age. And I think that is the number one thing to keep in mind, that it doesn't matter how you look. It doesn't matter if you're wrinkly, whatever. You're so lucky to be here. Now, that being said, I understand the pressures of looking young, and it's still very much a priority for me. I mean, you know, I'm going to be getting Botox pretty soon, babe, pretty soon. I want to age gracefully. I don't want to look like I'm clinging onto youth. I think aging is a beautiful thing. When I think of a beautiful woman at really any age, Meryl Streep comes to mind. She's gorgeous ever since the beginning of her career onto where she is today. She's still just so breathtaking, and she's a huge inspiration for me. Now, just because I want to age gracefully and look like Meryl Streep does not mean that I am immune to lotions, potions, and plastic surgery. I think indulging in a little bit of anti-aging is really important for most people. I think SPF, of course, is important, and drinking water. I have not yet gotten anything done to my face, but I plan on it, babe. I don't want to have to go under the knife and get like a really invasive thing, or at least not like too soon, and I'm not against doing that. I'm certainly not above it. Doing what you can when you're young is the most important. Wearing SPF, moisturizing. I like to moisturize in 2 layers. After I cleanse my skin, I'll do 1 layer of like CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion, let that sink in, and then I'll go in with an Origins Deep Hydration Mask or the Laneige Water Mask or something on top of all of that after it's sunk in. And the second layer of moisture is so nice for my skin. Also, get on retinol, get on tretinoin, whatever. Go to a dermatologist, get tretinoin. That's what I'm on now. My skin has really never been better. It's just been purging. I mean, you saw me at the beginning of this video, but it's pretty smooth for the most part. Something to remember with any sort of beauty treatment, whether it's filler or something, is that it's going to age with you. Your body is going to grow around the filler. Like I've really deeply considered getting under eye filler, because you can see I have this line right here, and that's not like, I've just always had that. I have hollow under eyes. You can see it here and there. That's part of my anatomy. No matter how much sleep I get, no matter how rested I am, it's always gonna be there. So I thought about getting filler. I talked to my mother, John, and he was like, no, no, no. And like, I've heard that from so many people that like under eye filler ruined their life, because now they have like a pocket there that needs to be constantly filled, and it makes it worse, and it can create wrinkles and create hollowness, and it's just so insane. So we don't really know how things are gonna age. So I think the most important thing is to take the most natural approach that you can, you know, using products and drinking water and staying out of the sun and moisturizing, and understand that at a certain point, nothing can do what a facelift can, and start saving now. I fully intend to get a facelift eventually, and I'm okay with that, you know? I'm okay with that. I don't want to get like a super tight, crazy whatever, but once I'm like 40 something, maybe when the kids are in college and I'm starting to feel the effects of aging, I'll get things snatched back. Also, the kids probably won't be in college when I'm 40, but whatever. More blush, bitch. My partner doesn't support my transition. What should I do? Leave them. No, I'm kidding. Well, but I'm not, you know, ultimately you have to be yourself. And if they can't support that, you should not be with them. I don't know the whole picture, but like personally, I've been there and I've been with people who didn't support me, whether it's through my transition or just my life choices, who I am, and it ultimately didn't work out. Because you're going to be yourself no matter what. You can't change that. I can't change the fact that I'm naturally brunette. I can't change the fact that I'm trans. That's just who I am. So you're gonna continue to be that person, and if they continue to not be okay with it, then you can't be together, period. Do I think that people can come around? Absolutely. So I think, of course, don't just throw the baby away with the bathwater, but consider talking about, you know, how they feel now and how they might feel eventually and like whatever else, but just understand that you have to come first. You won't be happy with them long term, and they will certainly not be happy with you if you're hiding who you are and suppressing everything. And you know, it's a miserable life. It's a miserable life. So put yourself first, sis. Do high school bullies really reach out to you like, wow, you're so hot now? Okay, yes, first of all, yes, they do. Not like every single one, obviously, but I've definitely had quite a few. Ew. All around, ew. I've had people that like fully would like scream, call me names in school and like throw trash and shit at me and like all these other things, then slide into my DMs, and not just slide into my DMs, like harass me, like send me like explicit photos, and then like after I block them, add me again. I wish I could say this person's name, but I can't. Oh my God, y'all would gag. Anyone from, ugh. Are there any hobbies that you kept post-transition that are considered masculine? Now I wanted to answer this because of the verbiage or the wording of it that you kept that are considered masculine. Because I didn't give up any hobbies, and I don't think that you should either. I think you should continue to be yourself, and if you happen to change some hobbies, if they don't fit your needs or your lifestyle, then sure, you can get rid of them, but there's no need to eliminate a hobby out of your life just because you transitioned, you know? So, I mean, I never really had any masculine hobbies per se, but I like video games. I'm not a huge gamer by any means. I know some trans women that go rock climbing. I know some trans women that, see, again, saying like masculine hobbies is kind of tough because of course there's no masculine and feminine hobbies, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Should I transition? Yes or no? I'm 42. You will be the coin I flip. So the answer is, I'm not a doctor. That's your answer. I'm not your therapist. I don't know you. You know, if you are transgender, if you're truly transgender and you're in a spot, an area in your life where it's safe for you to do so, yeah, transition, duh, be happy and live your life. But if you're not sure if you're trans, don't transition. Go talk to a doctor. You do not want to make a mistake. Like, you want to be 100% sure before you make any permanent changes to your body. You wouldn't get a face tattoo if you weren't sure if you really wanted it, right? It's kind of the same thing. How do you know that a man likes you for you and not just your pre-op? That's actually such a great question. It came up and I kind of giggled to my husband about it. I was like, oh my God, I love my questions. And he was like, I mean, that's a great question, and it's true. I mean, that is a great question. So the best way to know, I mean, here's the thing. I think I always knew that they liked me for me because I wouldn't tell them that I'm trans until I felt comfortable with them. Now I will say, don't do sexual things or like whatever with somebody without them knowing that you're trans. But if you're just getting to know somebody and whatever, and they get to know you as a person, and then you disclose your T, I think that's fine. I mean, I think first things first, I would ask if I'm the first trans girl they've been with. Now that has a lot of controversy in our community of girls that want to be like with the gold stars, like they want to be with the straight men that have never been with a trans girl. They want to be the one and only trans woman they've ever been with. And I was that girl for so long. And it's not like, now that I'm grown, I know that just because a guy is with other trans women doesn't mean that he's a chaser. It doesn't mean that he only likes trans women. That being said, I would not want to be with a guy that only likes trans women, because to me it's like, I'm a woman. I'm not just a trans woman. So like, ask him if you're the first trans girl he's been with, and also understand that it doesn't necessarily mean that he's a chaser and whatever if he has been with other trans girls, but it does help you along your way. I think we all can tell when someone's just into us for sex or if someone's actually into us, and the same thing goes with a trans woman. Now this leads me to my next question, and it's from an account that I really enjoy because they are so kind to me. The owner of this account is so sweet, and they shout out trans women, and I really respect and enjoy the account. So the question is, what is the best correct way to get a trans girlfriend? And let me stop my makeup. For me, as a trans woman, of course, all trans folks and trans women, transsexuals, whatever, all of us are different. You know, that's only one part of our demographic. All of us are very diverse outside of that, you know. It's gonna vary, but for me, if someone is only interested in dating trans women, if someone's like, I really want a trans girlfriend, I don't like that. I don't want that, because I am not just a trans woman, I'm a woman. Do you know what I mean? And I think that goes for most transsexuals, maybe not non-binary or gender fluid people or other people under the umbrella, but for me personally, I'm very much binary, and I'm not interested in someone that is only interested in me because I am transgender. Now I understand why people are interested in trans women or trans men for that matter outside of genitals, and I've actually talked about that. I made a video link right up here and down below about why some men love trans women outside of that. But I think the danger comes in being like, damn, I really want a trans girlfriend, because try saying, I really want an Asian girlfriend or a black girlfriend or a disabled girlfriend. The thing is, yes, Asian women are beautiful, black women are beautiful, disabled women are beautiful, trans women are beautiful. But the danger comes in saying, I want this type of girlfriend. You can meet trans women in the same places you would meet other women. Maybe in a queer club or something, you might have a better chance of meeting trans women, but we typically go there to be away from that. I don't know, something about this question kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Again, I love the owner of this account, and I don't think this person meant any malice. In fact, I highly recommend you go and follow this account because I love it. But I get a lot of questions, and that was just one that I singled out, but I get a lot of questions about dating trans women, and it just, I don't know, it just feels icky. How important do you think weight loss is to transition? I don't know that I think it's necessarily important for transition. However, I do think it's important for sexual reassignment surgery, SRS, because I know for a fact they require you to be, or at least my surgeon definitely required you to be under a certain BMI, because your body starts to heal differently over a certain weight. Someone that I really love that posts a lot about their weight loss throughout their transition is Kamari. I'll put up her username in photo right here. Kamari is a wonderful girl. She's so sweet. She's so gorgeous. I think she has a YouTube channel. If so, I'll link it down below. She lost weight because she transitioned and started feeling more confident in her body. And, you know, she, through that, like the transition in her weight loss, to me, it appeared at least, went hand in hand. So for some people, weight loss is important to their transition, and for some people it's not. And I think for me, I grew up being rather thin because I had an eating disorder, and I just also happen to have a pretty fast metabolism. So I've always been on the thinner side, and this is just around the heaviest that I've ever been. And now that I've gained weight, I actually feel so much more feminine than I ever have. I feel like my body looks more feminine. I feel like my face looks more feminine. I think I feel more feminine when you hug me, when you like touch me, like I'm just softer. And that just like is so girly to me. It's so womanly. Were you advised in transition to have your prostate checked frequently? I will just touch on this briefly because I've mentioned it in another SRS video, but they actually moved my prostate to where the female G-spot is. So instead of it being like, if you were to go in a male, if they're lying flat up with, you know, like chest up, you would go in and do a come hither motion from their anus to rub the prostate. Now, this motion for women in the vagina produces the same feeling. So they moved my prostate. I don't know how they did this. People doubted me. They're like, no, they didn't. My surgeon literally told me that she did. So anyway, they moved it to the G-spot. They said that it's still important to get it checked like any other person with prostate, but not frequently. Like they weren't like, you need to get it checked regularly. They were just like, get it checked. I'm also young. What do you think about detransitioners speaking up and telling their stories? I think it's important for people from all angles of the trans community to tell their stories, whether they're transsexual, non-binary, gender fluid, two-spirit, detransitioned, anything. Now, what I have an issue with is someone like Ollie London, for example. There are other people that do sort of similar content. I mean, obviously Ollie London is a creature in and of themselves. People that then point to like media or the medical community to be like, they pushed me to be trans. The media, the liberal agenda is pushing people to be trans. That's when I have an issue, because guess what? Nobody, I lived in a blue state and no one around me wanted me to transition, not even my own parents. And that's the thing, like people tend to think like their parents are like, oh my God, yes, like put them on hormones. No, babe. It took a long time of being myself and living authentically and whatever. Anyway, so I'm very glad that they shared their stories, but there are some people that use that to fuel the idea that trans people are confused, or we don't know who we are, or we're just crazy and want to like switch genders. Like that's not what's going on. But so people are using that to push that narrative. However, some people do jump into transition and discover that's not who they are, and it can leave you truly changed permanently. And that's incredibly important for you to know before going into anything, whether it's a procedure, hormones, tattoos, piercings. Guess what? I got my nose pierced a few years ago. It's closed up, and I will always have a little note like thing on my nose for the rest of my life. So yeah, I'm all for it as long as it is not slandering the trans or medical or media entertainment community. You know what I mean? Do you realize how much you've helped so many of us? I hope you feel the love. Thanks for all you do. I want you to know that I screenshotted that question and I put it in a folder. I have my phone of reasons to keep going. Before I filmed this video, I cried to my husband saying I can't do this anymore. I love that I'm able to help people, and that's what keeps me going. I have a lot of anxiety, and filming a video, even though it seems so simple, even to me, before almost every single video, I have to hype myself up and talk myself up in the mirror to try and record anything. I don't feel that way when I'm talking in front of a crowd. When I was keynote speaker at something, you know, I'm on the board of directors of a major healthcare corporation, and I have zero problem speaking in front of people or speaking in those settings. But for some reason, sitting down and recording these videos takes so much out of me. So I very much appreciate you saying that. I have to remember that in the sea of, you know, internal turmoil and hate that I may receive, I am so unbelievably thankful that I'm able to help even one person out there. Sorry, oh my God. I made my channel because I was trans and alone and I had no resources. And I hope that one of you leaves work or leaves, you know, school or something, and you think, oh yes, Victoria posted a new video. The idea of that would just warm my heart. So the fact that even one person feels that way, and many of you have sent me messages and they're in that folder, don't you worry. I gotta get myself together, and I'm just gonna do a very thin amount of eyeliner just so that the lashes look normal, and I'll be right back. Have you accepted body hair in certain places? Yeah. Y'all know I've talked about, before I knew about Catch Beauty, I got professional laser, like a professional full Brazilian down there. And I still have hair down there, of course, because it's laser hair removal, it's not electrolysis, like it's permanent hair reduction, not removal, you know what I mean? So it reduced the hair a lot, and the hair that I have down there currently is smooth. I have very thick, coarse, I had actually curly hair. I had some pretty thick hair down there, and now the hairs that I have left, they're lighter and they're soft. That is the area that I've actually accepted it, because I kind of like having hair down there, because I'm not a child. In the 2000s, it was all about the full Brazilian and being fully bald, and then in the 2010s, it was about a landing strip. And now it's about a bush, bitch. Like, it's about like an 80s bush, bitch. I love it. I don't have an 80s bush. I have the landing strip, but it really, I've just accepted it. I like it. Do you think it's selfish to want to transition when you have a family and they might get ostracized? Okay, here's the thing. I'm thinking in like a very America-centric view, because for me, I of course it's not selfish, because to me it's more like social isolation. Maybe they're like, you couldn't control your kid, like whatever, but that's their own issues. But outside of the US, that might be different. It might actually really truly impact your family. And the answer, of course, is still no. It's not selfish to want to live your authentic life and transition and whatever. You need to take yourself into account. You need to put your mask on, your air mask on, before you put on someone else's. And of course, they love you no matter what they might say, no matter if they're worried about isolation, whatever. They love you, and they would rather you be alive than dead. You know, so would I. So first of all, I don't have a say in the matter because I don't know you or your situation. But second of all, I think it's most important to take your well-being into priority. I'm nearly 2 years into my transition with amazing results. At what point does it usually plateau off? Just about 2 years, babe. You're just about at where it plateaus off. 1 year was when the most growth happened. 2 years is when it started to round out. A great example of this, and I'm sure any trans woman will know what I'm talking about, is that year one, the year one mark, I had development, but it was more of like a cone shape, and it was like buds and mosquito bites, very much cone. It was giving very much cone shaped. At the end of the 2 year mark, that sort of rounded out into more of a teardrop, like a teardrop shape. So yeah, I think about 2 years is when it plateaus off. How to maintain good posture, because I saw a video of myself and I looked like a hunchback whale. My favorite advice that I have for posture actually comes from Mrs. Midwest, which granted, I'm sure she has her own controversies, but I carry this with me, and it's, imagine that you have a pair of wings pinned to your back, like pinned right to your shoulder blades, and you want to keep them level with the floor. So it's easy as a trans woman, we're tall, and I do this as well. At least myself, I'm tall, I'm 5'9", and I have always tried to hunch over to try and disguise how tall I am. Still looks ugly. This is so much more feminine. How long did it take you to think of your name? Not long at all. I actually knew this girl named Victoria F, and she was gorgeous. She was a brunette, and I just wanted to look like her so bad. I remember being so like infatuated with her because I was like, I just want to be like beautiful like her. And I love the idea of like Victoria and V and Tori. Like it just made it, I loved it. It was very feminine. My first choice of a name was Astrid. Astrid is crazy. Now granted, the name Astrid is beautiful. If you were given the name Astrid, it's beautiful. But as a trans person, I think about all of the Averys. I think about all of the Jaspers of the world. Just because you're trans doesn't mean you have to pick a super unique name. That was a great call on my family's part. Like, I think Astrid and Jasper and all of those names that I listed are beautiful names. People's names don't necessarily fit them 100% of the time. So I think going for something of royalty, of the Bible, of literature, anything is a surefire win, whether it's Elizabeth, Emily, Victoria, Henry, Joseph, Cain, even if you want to be crazy. Are you happy in life as a married woman? To be completely honest, I have never been more happy ever in my entire life, even when Christopher and I were dating. I am extremely happy as a married woman. It really, truly is everything that I thought it would be. I'm so excited to see where we go in the future, and I'm so thankful for the universe for providing me with such a wonderful, wonderful husband. Do you regret bottom surgery? If I'm being honest, I don't regret bottom surgery even a little bit. Like, even a little bit. It was the best experience I've ever had, the best decision I've ever made. I never felt more myself, and I'm so thankful that I was able to get that procedure. There is not even a single ounce of me that regrets it. I honestly, the only regret that I have is not getting it sooner. We're gonna end on an easy, lighthearted one, and that is, what is my favorite cuisine? I think that's such a great question. I'm an adventurous eater. I love eating food from all different parts of the world. Like, that's really, Anthony Bourdain is living my dream. I mean, I'm so sorry, oh my God, not now. I mean, like, Anthony Bourdain traveling the world and trying their different foods and experiencing the culture, I'm so sorry, is live my dream. It's not funny. I majored in Japanese for a while until my university dropped the major. So of course I love Japanese cuisine. I love sushi, I love fish, but I also really love Latin American food. I love Mexican food, but I also love Italian. I live in a very, very Italian area, and I'm not Italian myself. I'm very French. I don't really love French food, sorry, but Italian, I think I'm gonna have to go with Italian because it's just so comforting to me. It's what I grew up with. I love pasta, I love pizza, I love lasagna, I love eggplant parmesan, I love chicken parmesan, I love tortellini, I love rigatoni, I love fucking ravioli, bitch. I love all kinds of food, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and say Italian. All right, that wraps up our question and answer as well as the Get Ready With Me. I hope you enjoyed the sort of everyday routine. This is what I've been doing all day, every day, and I'm loving the look. It's relatively natural despite what you just saw. It's very natural to me. It looks like I just have some nice skin and like some lashes, brows, and like lip gloss. So cute, huge fan. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. It helps on my channel so much. If you want to participate in the next Q&A, please make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I am so much more active on there, and that is where I gather all of the questions for these types of videos. You are all amazing. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and until I see you next week, good luck. I love you. Bye.